According to reports, one Manchester United deal is nearly complete. What's the latest on Branthwaite? What's the latest on Leny, Yoro? Could there be a boost there with Real Madrid not set to go in for Yoro? Or is that a negotiation tactic from Real Madrid? What is Man United's centre-back plan if they don't get Branthwaite? They can't get Todibo. Yoro could be Madrid bound. Well, we're going to get the latest on that. But Joshua Zirkzee seems to be the most advanced deal to Man United at the moment. Manchester United ready to trigger his release clause. But will Joshua Zirkzee agree to join Manchester United? We're going to talk about that and all the latest Manchester United news, which we're going to round up in the next 10 minutes for you guys. So please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. I will do a live stream tomorrow. I do apologize about the lack of live streams at the moment, but it's just easier to do videos with the Euros going on and all of that. But I will be back with live streams soon. Let's get into the news on that. When I say be back with live streams soon, I literally mean tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's get into this story first for just context on Man United's transfer plans before we actually get into the individual transfer stories. So Ben Jacobs has said this: Manchester United are formulating a 5-window plan, so there's an appreciation that patience is needed. But the next few months are nonetheless crucial, since now it has been confirmed Ten Hag is staying and Ineos want to back him. Ratcliffe is desperate to have an impact in his first window in charge of the sporting side, believing so will set the tone. But ultimately, he knows everything is needed on the football side cannot be achieved in one summer, especially with financial rules. So what essentially is being said is Ratcliffe is eager to impress. He wants to make a statement this window, but he wants everyone to understand this is a long-term project. You've got to undo 17, 18, 19 years of mismanagement by the Glazer family. You've got to undo the 10 years of mess where we have a reputation for overpaying, so clubs expect us to overpay. We're bad at selling. We want Elise, but we've got to sell Sancho and Greenwood, and we have Anthony. We've got all those wingers. We need to offload at least 2 of them. It's not Ineos' fault. We spent 85 million on Anthony and took it from 20 grand a week to 200 grand a week, and we now can't sell him, and he has also legal issues outside of the UK. It's not Ineos' fault that there's legal issues surrounding Greenwood, making his sale more complicated, and it's not Ineos' fault that we spent 72 million on Sancho, gave him like 250k a week, and he hasn't been good, and he's fallen out with Ten Hag and refusing to play. It's not Ineos' fault. Ineos want to sell those players so they can get Elise, and it's going to take time for Ineos to establish that. They need Ashraf in place, they need Barada in place. For this, Ineos need to make a good impression this window. It's important. Get some players out, get some players in. I like the players we've been linked to, but if we see rivals swoop up those players for good value and us not getting stuff done, it will be disappointing. Ineos need to make a statement, but I understand it's going to be a 5-year window plan. It's going to take time. Now, one deal that could be done quickly and one deal that could be done right at the beginning of July when his release clause becomes activated is Zirkzee's release clause is available in July. It's available for £33.8 million, which is an absolute bargain. And this has been said on Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United. Manchester United are expected to meet the £33.8 million release clause in the Bologna striker Joshua Zirkzee's contract. Discussions are ongoing between the two clubs. It will be up to the player and his representatives to decide if they want to speak to United over a potential move. Manchester United have other targets if a move for Joshua Zirkzee doesn't materialise. So what's being said on Joshua Zirkzee to United is United want the player, United will pay his release clause when it becomes active in July. United want to get this deal done, but if this player doesn't want to come, they have other options. The Zirkzee deal depends on does Zirkzee want to come to United. Zirkzee's preference is AC Milan because they will guarantee him more game time. He's got to compete with Højlund. But can Man United sell the project to Zirkzee? Premier League is probably a better league, although I actually think right now the Italian league is probably one of the most interesting and most competitive leagues. I think Man United is a bigger club than Milan, but Milan is still a great club. Obviously, the agent seems to be more willing to sell him to United. For me, Man United having discussions with, obviously, Zirkzee and his agent and all of that. And I think Zirkzee does he want to come? Yes, we'll pay his release course, we'll get the deal done. Does he want to go Milan? Is he going to agree terms with us? No, he's going to go Milan. Milan are going to up that bish, bash, bosh. We don't get Zirkzee. We don't get Zirkzee. We looked at Ivan Toney. We've looked at Jonathan David. We obviously wanted Sesko. We like Cunha, but that depends on the fee. We do have other targets if we don't get Zirkzee. Now, one player where, one of our big targets in Todibo seems to be off the market, which I think is an absolute joke, those roles, is centre-back. And that makes opposition for Branthwaite that little bit harder. What has Sky Sports had to say on this? Manchester United have made initial contact with Lille over Leny, Yoro, who's among a number of young centre-backs United are looking at. Branthwaite remains a priority target, but there's no indication from Everton that their asking price will be reduced. We want Branthwaite. We will agree a deal to get Branthwaite done for 50 to 55 million. Personal terms are agreed. We've put in the bid. Everton need to lower the fee. Everton got to sell by June 30th. Every day that ticks by means Everton are getting closer and closer to lowering a fee. If we get into July and we do not have a Branthwaite deal done, I don't expect it to happen unless United overpay. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, Everton are trying to find a way around sort of PSR. So if other clubs buy players off Everton, it puts us in a little bit of an annoying position with the whole Branthwaite situation. Branthwaite wants to come. Personal terms are agreed. If Branthwaite goes to 55 million, Man United said they'll walk away. They'll pursue other options because Ineos want to show that we're not the Man United. They're going to overspend. Now, one player that Ineos want to get done is Leny Yoro. They've made contact with Leny Yoro. We know from David Ornstein they're pursuing a deal for Leny Yoro, but he seems to be waiting for Madrid. Although Madrid have made it clear to Lille they're not going to play the money it needs. So is Leny Yoro going to either stay at Lille and then go to Real Madrid as a free agent, because that seems to happen with Mbappe and stuff. And Real Madrid are lucky. They've had players like Camavinga and Leny Yoro and Mbappe there, although loads of teams are in for them. As soon as Real Madrid's in for them, that player's like, I want to go Real Madrid, and they will literally tear down their contract to get to Real Madrid. Or could Leny Yoro potentially be sold on a Man United move? You know, he could be getting a bit more game time at Man United than he would at Real Madrid. We'll have to wait and see, but I think, you know, I can't expect us to beat Real Madrid to his signature, which takes us into the next story. According to sources in Turkey, now I don't know how reliable this source is. It's Bean Sports Turkey. I mean, it is a big company. I'd say take this with a pinch of salt, but we do know that there has been work going on behind the scenes with Wan-Bissaka's exit. Same with Lindelof, but I say do take it with a pinch of salt until you get someone a bit more credible on it. But it was said breaking Galatasaray are making good progress in negotiations to sign Wan-Bissaka, and the deal is nearing completion. A 4-year contract has been offered to the 26-year-old, and he's keen to head to Istanbul. So I think that we could sell Wan-Bissaka this window. I think it's potential, but Manchester United want between 15 and 20 million. Wan-Bissaka, like Lindelof, have both got 1 year left on their contract, and Man United don't see them as good enough to be starters, but are open to selling both. But we're getting like 8 million offers from Turkey, and I think we can get 10 to 15 million for Lindelof and 15 to 20 million for Wan-Bissaka, because we've got to replace them. I like Wan-Bissaka. I think he's a very good option to have around as a backup right back, because he can take on sort of any winger in the world 1v1. But I do think if we sell Wan-Bissaka, you can get some really good attacking right backs that suit Ten Hag's philosophy in that 15, 20 million pound mark. And I'm open to selling Wan-Bissaka because I actually don't think he was that good this season. He put in a good shift in a few important games like the FA Cup final. He had a really good game, but I do think that he's not been amazing this season. He's definitely back up right back, and if he's got 1 year left on his contract and United want to freshen up with some younger, more attacking, fresh legs, I understand it. I think it's a second option at right back. He's always a good option to have Wan-Bissaka, but I completely understand that. Now, talking of more sales, talking of more deals that could get done, there's mixed reports going on Casemiro. Casemiro's transfer to Saudi Arabia was advanced, but now fallen through. And then you got Ben Jacobs saying Al Hilal and Al Nassr are interested in Casemiro. Saudi dealmakers would be looking to pay 30 to 35 million plus add-ons. Casemiro needs persuading to go to Saudi. Now, Man United think they can get 30 million for Casemiro, and there's confidence inside Man United. And Romano said this, that Casemiro will go to Saudi and he's open to the move. Casemiro's reps has had talks with Saudi. He's had talks with American clubs. Man United want to sell Casemiro. Man United plan to sell Casemiro. Casemiro has interest. Does Casemiro want to leave United? I'm not sure. I think the fact that he jetted off and he fell out with Ten Hag last game of the season could indicate that he'd be more open to leaving United. Now, we don't know if he fell out with Ten Hag, but there was lots and lots of reports, basically Amrabat's brother basically saying that he's annoyed that he didn't start, and he had a bit of a squabble with Ten Hag, which I think he's starting to check out. I expect Casemiro won't be a Man United player next season, but because of his wages and his long contract, it's a difficult one to sell. I think if he wants to go to Saudi and he wants to move, we'll probably sell him. But do we know if he wants to go to Saudi? Apparently so. We've got to keep an eye on Casemiro in Saudi. There's no guarantees it gets done. There's nothing like for sure, but I there's a feeling that he will go to Saudi, although some sources are starting to doubt that as time goes by, you know, because right now I thought Casemiro leaving Man United would be a deal that could be done quite quick. I thought it would be a deal that was an easy one to do, and it doesn't seem to be the case. So I do think Casemiro could become a bit more difficult to sell than maybe we first anticipated. You know, we need to sell, we need to buy. We don't seem to be good at selling. We don't seem to be good at buying because teams want to, you know, make us pay a fortune, or there's competition for Yoro, competition for Elise, competition for Desiree Doué. You know, the midfield situation, we're still looking at a number of names. It's, for me, I just hope it's not one of those transfer windows where we wait around, Man United have done nothing, and we see our rivals basically swoop up all the players that we want to sign. Like if Yusuf Fofana and Elise and Weaver and Zirkzee all come off the market, and Desiree Doué and Branthwaite and Yoro and Tolibo, it's going to be frustrating. Listen, people, please do hit that like button if you have not already, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest news, make sure you subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll be back tomorrow with a live stream. See you then. Bye.